So guys, if you have been watching our videos, you will remember from Wednesday's video that I went out trying to do a bit of cleaning of the hallway and this blew up. So the smoke was coming out from around the motor end. I did try and look at it, but you know, at 5 years old, it's time for a new one. And lo and behold, we have the new machine here. So today I'm gonna do a bit of an unboxing and maybe get it out and give it a bit of a try just to see the difference. This is 5 years old and this is the newer model, the Vax Platinum Smart Wash carpet washer. So should we get it unboxed? Obviously when you're doing it, take care not to damage anything inside. So here we have it then. What do we have inside? So it comes with various different parts and components. First then we have the solution tank, slightly different to the older system. It looks like it's removable, which makes it far easier to fill up. The hand tool then for the hose, very good bit of kit. This is motorized as well, so it does spin. Obviously then the dirty water gets sucked up there, and there is a spray unit on the hose that sprays out about here onto the carpets. You give it a scrub and then suck it up. So that's your hose attachment. Good bit of kit. Spray bottle. I'm assuming you get some solution with it. A quick easy fire action hand tool then. Again, very similar to this one, but it hasn't got the rotating brush head. This is just a simple one there. And I do quite like this new design. They're actually of a plastic feel, so it will give it, oh yeah, it gives it quite a good rub on the old carpet. That'll pick up quite a good bit of stuff, I reckon. Another attachment then, we'll have a look what that is when we get it out. Oh, the hose itself then, 2.5 meters long, and it comes in a nice accessory bag that I should imagine you'll be able to put everything else in. And there you go. So yeah, feels quite sturdy, decent handle. So that'll go into the actual machine, and this goes into the actual attachments like so. That'll just slot on there, and as I said, the spray nozzle's there, activated by a trigger. And then the unit itself, like the old system, split into two by the looks of things. So here we have, oh, so that sits over the front of the machine, and this is where the actual water, the dirty water, gets sucked up back into the machine. And again, we'll show you that once it's connected up. Oh, like I said then, got a couple of bottles of solution here. Got a pre-treatment, so prior to cleaning, give it a quick treatment, a pre-treatment of that. And then we've got the platinum antibacterial solution, and I think this is the best stuff they do. Quite expensive, but you get a nice little tub of that, 500 mils of that. So we'll give that a go. Operating handle itself. Difference with this one compared to the older model is you had to trigger to get the solution out. This one, I believe, which is quite clever, as you push forward, it sprays out the machine, and as you pull it back, the suck actually then activates and you suck it up. So there's no need to press any buttons, which will be quite interesting. I'm quite interested to see how it actually works compared to the manual trigger itself on the older unit. Aha, so this is one of your water tanks. And that will sit in the machine. I haven't actually had a look to see how you set it up yet, so we'll have a look at that a bit. But I should imagine that's, yeah, so that's clean, so you'll fill that with your water prior to starting the process of cleaning your carpets. And the unit itself, let's lift that up. Oh, not that heavy actually. The other one seems a little bit heavier. So, and that is the box empty. So we'll get rid of that out of the way and start looking at the unit itself. So again, obviously quite well packaged. Has a 2-brush head system. I'll show you what the older one had. You can see that. So I'm assuming then, yeah, that will slot in there. So you just plop that on the end. There's a star drive there, slots on this end, and then that just clips down. So it's 2 rotary brushes. If we go back to the old one, so alongside the older system, then you had 1 rotary brush, and these that used to rotate were quite good, but I don't think they're going to be as robust as the 2 brush, and they're quite hard bristles, and they're a lot bigger bristles than the previous version. So we're interested to see that, but this is quite a heavy unit compared to the new system. So like I said, that's how it comes in. You can see how the rotary brushes work, and they will spin under there, power themselves. And you can see it's got the wash dry, so as you push forward it will wash. As you pull back, it should then automatically click to the dry, and I think these illuminate depending on which way you're pushing it, either forward or pulling it backwards. So the front end then obviously sits over the brush heads themselves, literally clips in like that, and there you go. That is the unit set up. To release, then you'd pull that out, and I used to give this a good wash out and a good clean, getting a water down the front end there, trying to get all the debris and rubbish out the front. So we'll plop that back on. Again, it feels much easier to use so far. Also, I forgot on the back, you got your on-off switch and then your manual release. So that activates the brushes, and then you can, it is much lighter. I've also got a dry only function, so if you've washed your carpets and they're still a little bit damp, they do say that it should take about an hour. It's quite a fast drying machine, but you can also just stick it on to dry mode, and we might give that a go as well to see if that activates a bit more of a suction or not, or if it's still the same. But that can be done there. So there are only 1 button there to change to dry mode, an on-off switch, and your manual release to activate the actual system itself. Decent length power cable, which is always handy rather than having to move rooms with the power cable. You can probably sit in a centralized area and then just work around the house as you need to. Handle, go back to here, handle then, little push pin there, slots in, there you go, machine's good there. So the waste container, very similar to the old system. Lift this up, unflicks, take the top off, and then you'll be able to drain your fluid out into the sink. Different type of filter. The last one was a mesh filter. This is a plastic filter that you'll be able to remove and clean, which is far better, because the old system, the filter did get quite dirty and you would just have to wipe it on the top. You couldn't get from underneath. So this the float system then will actually shut down the sucking action of the machine, so it can't keep filling it up, and this is actually a fail safe, so you don't overfill the waste tank. You'll hear a distinct difference in the sound of the machine, and you'll know that float switch is activated, your tank is full, you'll need to empty. So to put that back on then, just slot it in at the front, push it down at the back, little hook clip there, goes over this little lip, and then just push down. And that sits at the bottom of the machine, clicks in like that to release. Lift this handle up and it just releases a little catch switch at the bottom there, like so. So very much like the old system, cap off, fill with water, 40 degrees max the temperature of water should be again. So little plunger action there, and you've also got some guidelines here which will slot into the bottom of this water tank, or the back of this water tank. Slide them in. Oh, there's no audible click. That's quite strange. You just push it on. Different. But obviously with the weight of the water, that will push that on. Also, something that I quite like about this machine already, as it has got the removable solution tank. It's auto mixing machine, so you fill that up with your solution, you fill that up with your water, and it will determine how much water and solution goes through the actual machine. So you don't have to worry about mixing it all into one single thing. And that just simply sits in the back there. What I will show is the older system, which I think is a mass improvement on. So this was the older system, very similar water tank, but you filled it up with water there and you filled up the solution there, which can be a bit tricky trying to get into a bigger unit. This you can just disconnect over a sink and fill it up. So a much better design in my eyes from the older. And that's it. So that's the actual machine itself then. So I can fill that with water, fill that with solution, and away I go, obviously plugging it in. Right, so to use the handheld device on this machine, very similar to the old, little cap at the front, big hole, small circular hole, and a catch for the plug itself. Line that up, so twist it around that way, plop it in, and wait for that audible click. And there you go. With the old machine, you had to twist on to say you were using the handheld tool. This one you don't. And you just, obviously that's all filled like the same. Use your water and away you go. You just carry it out like that. So very good. And you've got your different attachments. This then is just an added different brush. So you can take out the plastic type and put in your standard bristle type like so. And that would be exactly the same. I think I prefer this silicone sort of feel. But again, until I've tried it out, I won't know if it's better or not. But there you go. So yeah, accessory bag, put all your bits in there, fill her up, and away you go. So that was the unboxing of the Vax Platinum Smart Wash machine. Retailing at around £199. I got quite a good deal on Very. I had a 20% off token, so I got it for £162, I think, which was quite a good deal in my eyes. But the proof is in the pudding. Shall we test it? So as I've discussed, the ergonomics, build quality, feel of this machine, I think are far greater than the predecessor. I've filled it up with fluid, again, so easy. I've put in some standard fluid I had left over, so I haven't used the platinum stuff yet. The water, again, the ergonomics of this has got a grab handle there, lift up, slot it into that gateway, and bang, that's on. Water tank's on. You've got your waste tank in there, your head's ready, power on. Shall we give it a blast? It might get a little bit noisy now, but we'll have a look. Specifically this point here, it should illuminate when we're going forward and backwards, telling us what actions the actual machine is carrying out. Going to release the handle then. So releasing the handle activates the brushes when it's on. Turn her on. And there you go. So the brushes are in gear and it is on dry, but pushing forward. So now I'm going to pull it back. And you should see the water then shooting up. There you go, shooting up the front there. Wow, you can see the difference already. What I will say is when you're pulling it back in the drying mode, it really feels like it's sucking up the carpet because you are actually having to like really give it a good pull back. The other one was sort of like a Hoover, really, not a very good Hoover, but I suppose it's a newer machine now, but very impressed so far. Quickly show you when it's in dry mode only. So I'll turn it on. You'll notice the head doesn't spin. I'll put the release handle down and then I will select dry only. Dry only is select, it illuminates. The bristles still rotate, but now all it's doing is actually drying the carpet rather than washing. So it's not allowing any more water to come out the machine. You're literally just drying it that little bit quicker than the hour it says, which I think is quite a good feature. So just to show you the audible difference when you are using it and the tank does fill up the waste tank. There you go. And that just stops any more fluid coming into the waste tank and it's time to empty. The previous machine was an absolute nightmare because you couldn't remove the brushes. Yeah, I had to take it up to the bath, flip it up, get the nozzle of the shower and just give it a good rinse. With this one, I show you what it looks like and how easy it could be to clean. Again, yeah, I have got dogs, so we will have a lot of hair in there, and this is why I always clean it after use. So when you come to use it the next time, it should be nice and clean and ready to go rather than hair everywhere. So first of all then, I'm going to pull the front off. So there you go, that's straight off there. Both of these lift out like so, and then to the sink, give it a good clean out, get a cloth in there, give it a good wipe. Perfect. What can be better? So what can I say about this machine? It is fantastic. Yes, I was a bit dubious with the AI technology, wash forward, dry back, but wow. What I will say, the difference between the solution, what I used to use with my old machine is, it's unbelievable. I would go through a tank like that within 5-10 minutes. I've just done the whole of the living room, the whole of the hallway, and I've still got 3/4 of a tank left. So that, yeah, the wash dry technology, absolutely brilliant. The dry only, I used that to move from one room to the other rather than turn it off. I just pressed that, pushed it through to the next room, deselected the dry only, and pushed forward, and away you went to clean. Will say with the wash dry, I used to do it very slowly with the old machine, maybe because it was old and it needed that little bit more time to work into the dirt. But with this one, you do have to keep it going at a fairly snail pace, maybe a little bit faster for it to stay in wash mode. Sometimes it does flick between wash and dry. I did notice that. But the two brushes compared to the old one, absolutely fantastic. The cleaning is so easy. It is all those components off. Like I said previously, I had to take it up to the shower room. This I don't. I can do it in the sink. Done. Letting that dry. There are some bearings in there. They look like self-contained bearings, but I just keep an eye on them, let them dry, and make sure they don't rust. But fantastic. Ergonomics, the feel, the machine is absolutely fantastic. I will put a link in the bottom of the description for the solutions and for the actual machine itself. But yeah, if you need a new carpet machine, I would seriously look at the Vax Platinum Smart Wash. Superb. Well done, Vax. And that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. I will see how it goes over the months. It may degrade slightly because it's brand new. It might not wash as effectively, but I'm hoping it does, because already the carpet looks 10 times better than the previous machine ever could do it. Please like and subscribe, and take care, everybody. Bye bye.